Okay, welcome back to Orphans of the American Dream, the post-apocalyptic RPG where everybody plays themselves in a alternate versions of themselves in a nuclear apocalypse.
Except Connor, who plays God.
But also an alternate version of himself.
Right. Sounds like Josh will be continuing the hiatus until at least a few more sessions. So we're just going to kind of leave that hanging and see if when he's ready to come back. Just to give an update on that. We won't be seeing Josh for a little while. And last we left off, you guys all did your little mini sessions after the big train incident. And yeah.
We're in year 1 of AT after train.
Yep. So basically what I want to do is pick up, I think, like the 4th week after, right? The 4th week after you guys all had the train incident, I think is what we decided. Because otherwise you guys wouldn't have stayed any longer. And we're not going to start with the flashback because we're going to do some flashbacks in the during the session. And I think what we want to start with though is David.
Yes.
You're in a dark hallway.
Okay.
And, you hear voices ahead of you.
Okay. Am I dreaming or did I walk into this dark hallway?
That's a great question.
Okay. I think that
got here
probably answers my question. Okay. Do I have my guns?
Yes.
Okay. Then I guess it's fine. So unless this is one of those dreams I have all the time where I pull a gun on someone and the trigger is like frozen solid and won't pull. Anyways,
dreams often.
Of course he does. Do
I
you
used
know,
to
David?
have them all the time. I haven't lately, but yeah, I've also had dreams where I shoot people and nothing happens. I had one. Okay, pause. I had one dream. It's very quick. I was in a cargo car, like on from a train in the middle of a town in like a Wild West setting. I knew everyone in the town wanted to kill me for some reason, because of course they did. And the car was full of guns. So I went and grabbed a revolver and I saw a guy like sneaking. He didn't know I was in the thing apparently. And there's like a window for some reason. There's not windows in cargo containers, but there was a window in this one. And I saw him outside. So I reached my hand out through the hole on the window. I put the revolver against his head and I pulled the trigger 6 times. He didn't even look around like he heard anything. Nothing happened at all. I was like, oh crap. So I turned around, all the guns are gone. And I was like, what?
Telling me about this dream.
And yeah, it's one of my favorite dreams to recount because it is typical of my dreams. I also had a dream that there was a small, like 4-year-old Mexican child haunting my house last night, rather. Except she wasn't haunting. She was real. And she was just carrying around a like electronic. I couldn't turn the lights on anywhere near her. She had like some kind of button thing on her that was keeping my lights from turning on. It was really obnoxious. Anyways, so I guess I go in towards the voices.
Start of this session is so funny.
Yeah, sorry.
Okay, so
I have some dumb dreams.
So you walk forward, and as you're walking forward, like the light seems to like follow you, so you like turn behind you, and there's darkness behind you.
Great,
and
okay.
As you're walking forward, you can't see so far. But then you get to a door, and you hear some like muffled talking, and then you hear like coughing and screaming.
Okay. Can I roll for lucid dreaming?
Yeah. Do you want to roll
Just
your
kidding.
lucid dreaming skill? You have a -7 in it.
I have a +3 notice. Excuse me. I got to notice incongruent things. All right. Like, for instance, light that follows you for no reason. Anyways. No. Yeah. I mean, I guess I opened the door.
So you open the door and you come back to the train scene.
Great. Okay.
And Connor is on the ground, and he's coughing and wheezing because of Luke. and his
Right.
plague grenades, and
Yeah.
Jared is too. And you turn and look, and you see Caleb is I forget what you were even doing.
He was on the other side of the train helping people. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Okay. So you see Caleb like on the other side, struggling to like pull people up from the train, and I think you see Mickey by the train, and she is like looking up at the sky like she has no idea what's going on. What do you do?
Wait, is she hanging from the?
Nope, she's standing on like by the train, but like toward on the edge of the bridge.
Oh, okay.
You hear Luke laughing maniacally.
Right. I apologize. What happened to her? Right. Like, what actually killed her mechanically? Because I'm struggling to remember how she got on the edge of the cliff.
The
train fell, right?
Tank countdown ended. Yeah. So
yes.
she was in the train, and the train fell.
That's what I thought. Okay, so this is already not what had happened previously.
Yes.
Okay. Well, I think I probably just remember enough that to remember that she died, and so I'm like, oh, hey, I need to, so somehow maybe I need to keep her from being killed. So I yell at her to get away from the train, like to run away from the train because I know it's going to go down.
Okay. Yeah.
And then, obviously I pull out my gun and start shooting at Luke because that's, what else did I do? But yeah, I'm yelling at her, trying to tell her to get away from the train.
Okay, sure. Yeah, and she doesn't. She looks at you and she's like, "What? What? David, is that you?
Get away from the train! It's gonna go down. Look, there's a tank right there. Get away!" I'm like waving my guns.
Like Luke like gets far away, and so does Connor and Jared as they're like coughing and wheezing, and then you like turn around and you're like right next to Mickey.
Okay, I mean, I just I guess I look over. Is the tank there in the distance?
Yes, it's like on a hill. It rolls up over a hill.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
And it like aims its like.
Yeah, I guess I just grab her and try and like dive away from the edge of the cliff that I know she falls off of. So I'm just trying to distance her from the cliff.
Yeah, so you start running with her, and then you feel your collarbone shatter, and John is behind you, and he lands on your collarbone and shatters you and throws you to the ground. And you're like, you can't move. And John like picks up Mickey by the hair and looks at you, and he says, "No bullets this time." And he like carries her over towards the end of the bridge. What do you do?
He's just like, "No, I killed you." And I stand up and I'm like, I guess I'm gonna try and like run at him. I mean, I know there's no point in doing that statistically, but yeah, so he's just gonna try and like tackle him, even though he obviously has a busted shoulder.
You do still have your guns in case you were just gonna shoot him instead.
I mean, I guess I'll try that. I assume nothing happens. You said I have no bullets, but that probably is the first instinct.
No, so I think you do. So
okay.
He says that, but you do. I think that's why you were thinking that you weren't going to. Yeah, no, but you pull out your guns. You're like, no, I shot you, and you do fire into him, and you do the whole. You empty your clips and dies.
Yeah. Oh, he dies?
Yes.
Oh, okay. This is an alternate version of me, I guess.
Yeah.
I guess I run over and check on Mickey.
She like fell to the ground. And as you like stand over her, she like doesn't really look at you. And she's like looking up at the sky, and then her eyes start to get really red, and she starts like crying blood. And then she looks right in your eyes and she says, "Why did you kill me?" And then the tank, you hear the tank fire, and there's like a big explosion, and you somehow survive the explosion, and you see Mickey like falling, and as she's falling, the cable wraps around her, and right before the cable like tears her into pieces, like it cuts away, and you wake up in that same hallway again.
Oh boy. Okay.
And this time, the door ahead of you opens up, and Luke walks out. And he has his like gas grenades, and he like pulls the pins on them and is laughing as he's like walking towards you. He's like, and then and you like look for your guns, and you don't have them this time.
Okay.
And then you like hear behind you all of your friends. You hear Caleb, Jared, Josh, Connor. You hear Lynn and Liz and Clarence and Helen, and you hear everybody. And he like starts throwing grenades behind you, and you like try to crawl towards them, and you can't.
Yeah.
And you're just forced to hear like them coughing and screaming, and like you can see them in your mind, like you can't see where they are, but you can like see them.
Right. I know that they're there in the way you do with the dream. Yeah.
And then you wake up in a sweat.
Yikes. Okay. I mean, yeah, I do the like, checking my surroundings thing, like try and grasp where I'm at.
Do you read your guns?
Well, yeah, of course. I make sure they're there. I notice that I'm not in a dark hallway, and I'm like, oh, okay. Like, but then I'm not going to go back to sleep because I'll just have a recurring nightmare if I do, probably. So right. It's like, oh man. And then he'll stand up and like, slide his guns into his holsters and probably like look for something to drink or something, like some water.
Sure, yeah. So I think and you like open up one of the curtains to the window, and you realize like the sun is just rising.
Okay.
You slept mostly through the night. So I think we kind of get that scene, and then I think you hear a knock at your door.
Okay. Yeah, so I jolt a little bit. I'm like, yeah, who is it?
It's me. It's Connor.
It's unlocked.
He walks in, or he like just opens the door, and he's like, "Are you ready to go?"
Go where?
We're getting ready to leave.
Oh, all right. Did I know that?
Sure. Yeah. Let's say you
okay.
do, and you're just groggy or something.
Yeah. Oh, right. Okay. Well, yeah, sure. I'll grab my thing.
Okay. He's like, yeah. Meet us out at the town hall, and you know that as like the one house that everybody kind of meets at.
Right. Have I seen Connor since then? Because by the flashback, I hadn't seen him.
As of now, the first time you've seen him was yesterday, and basically he got out of bed and he gathered everybody up, and he was like, "We're leaving tomorrow," and then he went right back to his room.
Okay. So then, yeah, before he leaves, I'm like, hey, Connor, you are you holding up?
He pauses, and he doesn't look you in the eye as he's kind of like walking back out the door, and he says, "I'm fine," and he closes the door.
Yeah. It's like, yeah, sure.
Does he know?
No.
What?
He doesn't know. Neither does David.
The contents of the letter.
Yep.
Oh, right, yeah.
Not that, just that David was the reason that Mickey died.
Oh, just no. I don't think nobody knows except for you and you two.
Well, so can we back up? Because is that true? Did I miss something that I've forgotten about?
So Jared was going to take the tank shot, and you pulled his shirt back so that he wouldn't. So
right.
The train.
Okay.
Then Mickey fell.
I was like, I'm sure you're right, but I've forgotten something important here, clearly. because I didn't think that I was the reason she died. So I was forgetting something. Okay, cool. All right.
You probably still don't think you're the reason she died.
Well, I mean, I'm certainly not going to blame myself for it. It was the tank's fault. But yeah. I see. Okay.
But you were the only two that saw that exchange.
Right.
And
Yeah.
as far as I know, you guys haven't talked about that yet.
Right. Yeah.
I don't know if you ever will. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. But that's just something to have in the back of your mind.
Okay.
Okay. So, so you grab your stuff, kind of a thing. You get ready and head to the town hall, kind of a thing.
Yeah. If we're leaving, I'll go like undo the clamps on my little ammunition reloader and throw it into a bag, and grab some extra clothes and some bullets and some knives and stuff, throw them in a bag, and I'll throw it over my shoulder and head out.
So I think as you're grabbing that stuff in your room, a head pops out from underneath your bed, and it's Liz. She's like, "Wow, you talk a lot in your sleep."
And you seem to have a poor concept of privacy. What are you doing in here? What if I slept naked? Get out.
She's like, yeah, I didn't think about that.
Yeah.
And
I'm going to next time, just so don't try it again. Just because of you.
She's like, I don't think you will, but it's not worth the risk.
No, it's not. What are you doing in here?
Well, I couldn't sleep last night. I was really excited, or I was really anxious about us leaving, and I just couldn't turn my brain off. So I just kind of snuck around all night.
I see. I hear alcohol helps with that. I open the door.
Okay. Yeah. So I think as you open the door, we cut the scene. We get like a one of the cuts in like a show where it doesn't cut to black ever, and it just like transitions smoothly into another scene.
Yeah, like we transition through the wall, and then when we transition to the other side of the wall, it's a different building.
Yes,
that kind of thing. Yeah.
Yeah. So, and I think you're walking outside, and looking at all the kids with their guns.
Yeah. Okay.
They're all ready for you to train them.
Cool. Okay. Do we want to do like a whole thing, or do we want to sort of fast track this?
We can fast track it.
Okay. Yeah. So we probably don't like hear what I'm saying, but I'm like adjusting stances and pointing at stuff, and like, I take the second pistol away from the girl for like the third time. I'm like, no, I told you one pistol. You shoot with this one before you pick up the other one. Come on.
Okay. Yeah.
And then Liz is probably there too, shooting or whatever. Since I told her that I would do that with her.
So I think she's like keeps like trading with the boys and like taking their guns and like giving them crappier ones, and they like don't figure it out until a little later, and then they're like, hey. And I think this is one of those moments where Liz
their gun's always unloaded for some reason.
And one of the kids is like, hey, there's no ammunition in this one. And Liz is like, sorry, I guess I forgot to reload it. And she like takes a shot.
Yeah. So yeah, how does she do shooting wise?
Liz?
Yeah.
She's significantly better. Well, I shouldn't say significantly. She's somewhat better than the other kids.
Okay. Okay. Then I guess at that point I move up in front of the firing line, and I'm like, all right, cool. Now we're gonna learn how to not get shot. So I need a volunteer, but it can't be the one with the shotgun.
I don't think anybody raises their hand.
Liz doesn't raise her hand either.
I think she does after a moment. I think she's thinks it through.
Yeah.
And she raises her hand and she's like, I actually have a question.
Okay. Yeah.
Am I volunteering for getting shot at?
No, not yet.
She shrugs and is like, yeah, okay. Then walks towards you.
Okay. So yeah, I have her stand in front of the firing line, and I stand in front of the targets, like directly in front of one of the targets. And then yeah, I'm like, all right, so in case this is news to any of you, you can't move faster than a bullet. Someone points a gun at you, pulls the trigger, and you're not moving yet, you're dead. So the key is to move before they pull the trigger. There's 2 elements to that. And then I'm like, not at Liz, I'm like, go ahead and point your gun at me.
She's like
totally straight faced.
Oh, and she's like, okay. And
yeah.
Point, yeah.
Yeah. So like, first one is the direction of the barrel. It's just watch the barrel. You should, if you have a halfway decent sense of direction and sense of spatial reasoning, you'll be able to tell where the bullet will go. That tells you which way to move. You don't want to move into the barrel. That's a good way to get shot. Move the direction. If it's pointing at your left arm, you move right. Vice versa. If it's pointing at your center mass, you hope they're a slow shot.
You let that linger for a little while.
Yeah.
I think Rick, the youngest one, like swallows big.
Yeah. I'm like, the second one is to determine whether they're going to fire at you or not. Someone points a gun at you and you move. They'll just wait for you to stop moving. Then they'll shoot you. It doesn't do you a lot of good. Let's wait till you're in an awkward spot. So you got to make sure you read their intention. Also, if they don't mean to shoot you at all and you start dodging, you might spook them. You might get shot anyways. That's sort of a bad way to go about it. You got to read their eyes, make sure that you know what's happening, read their intent. That's a practice thing. So, good luck with that. And then I say, all right, Liz, put your gun down, point the barrel at the ground. And when you're ready, point it and shoot. Don't hesitate when you do that.
She's like, shoot where exactly?
At me. It's a demonstration, Liz.
She's like, yeah, but I'm going to shoot you.
You're going to try. Go for it.
Oh, I hope she crits.
She will. Every time.
I'm
going to have one of those moments where I stand up in front of the class, tell them I'm the only one professional enough to handle this firearm, and then shoot myself in the foot.
I've seen that.
I think
to that guy's credit, the first thing he did was ask all the kids if they were okay. But still, it was still funny.
I think because you are training her a little bit in shoot, I will give her a +1.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
I think you should give her the full bonus.
Just so it feels like it makes sense.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But yeah, she's gonna.
Okay.
So she's very hesitant about it, but she eventually does.
Nice.
Dang. Okay, yeah.
Her hesitation means that it's difficult for me to read because I told her not to hesitate.
Right. Yep.
So yeah, I dodged it and I'm like, I said, don't hesitate.
He's like, oh, sorry, was that harder?
Did you hear the first part where I said you have to read there and try it again?
And this time she doesn't hesitate.
Okay. We can just let it ride. Yeah. So I this time I slipped the other direction because she's pointing at a different spot. Gotcha. And so I'm like, she pointed low into the right, so I moved left and picked my right foot up so I didn't get blown off. That's how you do it. But to be honest, this is hard to practice without being shot at. I have an airsoft gun? A thing I can have?
And one of the kids probably does.
Okay. Or like the BB gun or something. All right.
Yeah.
So I grab that. I say, all right, it's your turn. And I nod Liz over towards the target.
And she's like, oh, yeah, okay. She like walks over.
Yeah.
She's like super chill about this.
Right. So yeah, I stand behind the thing in front of the gun line where I had her so that the kids can see me. And I'm like, and so she's at the target. And I pointed at her and I say, all right, where's it going to land? And I pointed at her like her left shoulder.
Say it again.
I say, where's it going to land? And I point at her left shoulder with the gun.
Oh,
the airsoft gun.
Yeah. So she points at her left shoulder.
All right. So good. All right. I'm going to point it there when I shoot. So don't get hit. Now, keep in mind, it's a little slower than a bullet. So don't be too pleased with yourself if you get it on the first try here.
Okay, yeah.
I mean, I'm not going to roll because I'm actively trying to let her dodge this. I'm telling her where I'm going to shoot.
Right.
So I guess maybe just have her make like an acrobatics against 2 or something. And then, I'll shoot it at her shoulder.
Okay.
Nice. So the BB thumps against the target. Like, good job. Next, the next step is to return and fire before I can adjust my aim. And,
she pulls out her gun and fires at you.
I'm standing in front of like 5 children, though.
Okay. She doesn't do that then. No.
Okay, because I'm standing in front of them so they can see what's happening.
Right.
So.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or how about she pulls out her gun and then you're like, "Well, no, there are kids behind me." And she's like, "Oh, I thought you meant." Okay, sorry.
Yeah. I just bark at her. I'm like, "Hey, yeah." Now.
So then I think we get like a little training montage.
Yeah, then I have all of the kids do exactly the same thing I did. And I shoot at them with airsoft pistols until they get it.
And like that, we get like a cut later, and you're kind of like bringing the kids back for like dinner or something like that as the sun's going down, and there are a couple of kids that are like rubbing their arms, like
they got some welts, yeah.
But I think Mary meets you at the door, and she's like, "Oh, I see you guys didn't dodge the BB as well today as you did yesterday."
Yeah. Nice. I just shrug at her.
Well, she's talking to the kids.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. And then she waits till the kids go inside, and then she like stops you before you go in, and she's like, "I just wanted to say thank you for doing all this. They really look up to you, and you definitely earned my trust."
Well, whatever help I've been, you've earned. There's not a lot of places we could recover like this. There's not a lot of people out here wanting to take people in. But I'm not sure that looking up to me is... Maybe don't encourage that. You don't want them to be like me. I know you don't know me, but...
She kind of gives you a funny look.
I didn't learn how to do that by being a good man.
She nods and she says, "Well, I can encourage them to be who you want to be now, not who you were before." And she smiles at you.
Yeah, he nods. Sure, that sounds good.
Mm-hmm. But David knows. You still don't want to be like...
Yeah. She doesn't know who I want to be, so I'll just...
Yep.
Whoever that is in her mind is apparently good enough, so
right.
Works for me.
So then I think you walk in the door, and then you're walking out the door present time.
Right. Okay.
It's behind you.
Yeah. So maybe at that point my arm is still in a sling. When I walk out, it's not.
Right.
And then cool.
Yeah, and then I think Liz mentions it. She bumps you in the bad arm, and she's like, "How's the arm?" Or no, I think she asked that, even though it wasn't your arm that was hurt. She's like, "How's your arm?"
Yeah, well, yeah, it was the arm in a sling.
Right.
Yeah. And in response, he slugs her in the shoulder and says, "You tell me."
She's like, "Ow, that hurt worse than the BBs."
He was like, "Well, it must be working then." And like, does testing his arm kind of thing. Ruffles her hair.
She's like, "I'll get you later." And
what are you gonna do about it? Come on.
She's like, "I'll get you later." And she like takes a few steps forward in front of you, and then she like turns around and she's like, "In your sleep." And then she like runs off to the town hall.
Yeah, he goes after you. Like, hope you don't mind being scarred for life.
Yeah. Okay, so then I think we you get to town hall and kind of everybody else is gathering in. And we cut over to Jared. And Jared, are you walking up with Lynn?
Yeah.
What's your guys' relationship look like right now?
Are you making out?
No. I mean, we're pals.
You don't wingman with Connor? With Caleb?
Caleb? Are you?
Yeah, can you just fight good cop, bad cop as being your wingman? Come on.
We're pals. She's probably more focused on her long lost sister than romance.
I mean, she's fine.
Yeah.
She's fine. So Jared, what I mean by that is like, what does it look like as you two are walking up? Is it you're just walking up?
I'm probably making some stupid joke and she's punching me on the shoulder. Sure. And then her sister also punches me on the other shoulder. I'm like, gotcha. They're both so strong.
Okay, gotcha.
I take yet another serious consequence.
I ask you how polygamy's going for you.
Polygamy. Not kidding.
Well, so you do that, and I think Lynn and Becky both say you and walk over to you, David, and punch you on both your shoulders.
I'm sorry, my computer just broke. Give me a second. What the heck is going on? Okay, you keep going.
Okay, all right. So yeah, so I think Becky kind of walks away and is giving somebody a hand loading up the vehicle or something like that, and we cut to Lynn coming back up to you, Jared, and she says, I kind of liked being in this place.
Yeah, it was a nice reprieve from being shot by tanks.
Yeah, she chuckles at that. Yep, it's been a month.
Man, we heal quick. It's like supernatural. maybe it's the rate. Maybe we're mutating.
It's you guys have a great nurse.
Yeah.
That's all it takes. I think Lynn just she kind of gets quiet and she says, actually, no, I think she just kind of gets quiet and you can tell something's on her mind.
Should I roll another empathy?
Yes, do it. Yes, roll empathy. Difficulty 2.
It's not going to work. I haven't succeeded.
Get all 0.
Empathy row.
So I think how I'll do that is she there's something on her mind and then you like ask her something like what's for breakfast or something like that, and she turns to you and she's like, you still can't tell when there's something on my mind, can you?
I can't tell when there's anything on anyone's mind. That is like the skill I am worst at. I have something up.
If you were to rank it from 1 to 5, I would have a -2.
-1. Craft.
Oh, sorry. Oh, okay.
I'd say the only thing I'm worse at is crafting.
Is it really?
Yeah.
That's funny. So she like kind of pouts a little bit, but she's like, well, I just wanted to know, like, well, we spent a lot of time together this week, or while we were here. Where are we?
At the farm.
I think she like.
No. I'm sorry. I'm joking.
Oh, okay.
I see you're starting it up. So I'm like, no, I'm sorry. I'm joking.
Okay.
I mean, you're pretty cool. And if my best friend just hadn't lost his wife and we weren't about to undergo another nuclear apocalypse, something more could happen. But until then, I need to focus on punching Nazis and making sure my best friend doesn't go insane with grief.
Okay, I think I want you to roll rapport.
Can I roll provoke since that's kind of an ugly truth?
No.
Oh, Connor.
Definitely a rapport.
Dang. What's the
difficulty 4?
That's impossible.
No, it's not impossible.
If he has a -1, it's impossible.
I have a 1. But,
no way, you rolled a -2. Okay.
Yeah. If I spend a fate point to make it like not a -2, will it be a less bad result?
No.
No.
No, there's not going to be a yeah.
Okay, so it's a 4. What are my chances? I need a +3 at least. Yeah, it's not worth it. Go on.
Oh crap. Where did all of our little I'm sorry, situational aspects go?
Oh yeah, where are those?
Oh, I found them. I found them.
Yeah.
Over here.
Yeah, so I think I'm gonna create a aspect about this.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to tell you what it is though. I don't want to I have to name it something clever and secretive.
Honestly, you can just keep it secret if you want to.
Okay, I'm fine with that. So there's
don't forget about it.
About Lynn. I just have up here. There's no way I'll forget. It's in her theme song, so.
Oh. I don't know what that is.
I know. I've purposely kept it a secret because you guys haven't figured it out yet. Okay, so I think she kind of just storms off. And actually, no, I don't think she storms off at all. I think she just gets like really quiet and just doesn't say anything to you. Just like, but like, doesn't want to like make a scene and walk away.
Mm-hmm.
And she just kind of sticks around by you, but she doesn't say anything more. And I think then we like cut back, right? We probably do like we did all of our cinematography budget on this episode because this is season premiere. And so I think we do like a spin, and the scene is different, but it's still like a smooth transition, and like the environment is just different as we spin back around to you two and you're sparring.
Yes.
So give me a spar roll, Jared.
It's +5 now. Yeah. Got a 5.
And Lynn gets
another tie.
So yeah, so you both are throwing punch.
No, fate point. Fate point. This is worth the fate point.
Are you serious?
I win. Yep.
Oh my
fate point for the session.
What are you spending it on?
That's so funny. What are you spending it on, Jared? What are you invoking?
Zealous shieldsman. I want to win.
All right, you're zealous. I get it. Okay. So I think how do you win this fight?
I go in for a feint, and then I like blow a kiss to distract her, and then just uppercut.
Oh geez,
and just knock her flat.
So yeah, so we see you do
So rude.
like blow her a kiss, and she like gives you a really weird look, and then you just uppercut her, and she's just like keels over, and she looks back up at you on the ground, and she's like, "That was a dirty move."
It's the only way I was gonna win.
And she's like, "You're darn right," and like sits back up, and like I think as you like if you what do you so she just like sits back up, and I think she tries to like sweep the feet and sweep your feet in like retaliation.
Mm-hmm. I just jump it and like throw her into a headlock.
Oh, you want to just let it ride?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Unless you wanted to do another separate fight roll.
That's what I was planning on doing, but if you want to say I let it ride, then that's fine. Up to you.
I want to win.
Yeah. Okay. So she tries to sweep you, and you put her in a what you said, headlock.
Yeah.
So yeah, and she's just like, okay, fine, all right, and she taps out, and she's like, geez, when did you get so good?
I keep having to fight you, and now you have now there's two of you.
And she's like, yeah, what do you think about all that?
You having a sister?
Yeah.
I think it's pretty cool. You found your sister in the middle of the apocalypse.
She's like, yeah, I guess so. It's
like divine providence. You just found her on a random train.
Well, I think that's the thing is we were not the kind of people that thought about divine providence before before I was with you guys. And I don't know, sometimes I feel like we're too different for you guys. And I mean, remember how you found me?
Well, you're
you guys because
completely different than when we found you.
she nods and she says, well, I only joined you guys because I knew I could still fight. I wanted to still be able to fight people.
Then you can still fight people. It'll just be for the right reason now.
That's what I mean is I don't really care about the right reason. Or at least I didn't. I think I do now. But sometimes when I look at my sister, I just think about who we were before, and I just think maybe that's who I'll be again.
Well, if that
I don't know if
starts
I
to
want that.
happen, I'll make sure to knock some sense into you, and then I flex.
She's like, I'm being serious.
So am I.
And she just kind of shakes her head and then she smirks. And she's like, all right, whatever. Talk time is over. And she like stands up and she just like throws a flurry of punches at you.
Are we doing
and then I
fight
think
roll?
What's that?
We doing another fight roll? Is that
No, I think we just kind of we transition from that. So she kind of gives you a flurry of punches and like you like back up and the camera stays put, and then we pan back over to you guys again and where you are, and everybody's packing stuff up. And then I think we cut over to you, Caleb. And or actually not yet. I think you're there.
Yeah.
But it's still from Jarrett's perspective, kind of a thing. And we kind of have this moment where everybody's kind of gathered up, and Connor walks kind of in the middle of the group as everybody's packing stuff up, and Connor is like, All right. Thank you so much, Mary, for letting us stay here and resting up. But this is where we part ways. Everybody ready? And I think some of the kids kind of come up to you, Caleb, and they're just like, wait, but there's still something that we wanted to do with you guys. Is that okay? I think it's Rosie and like another little girl. To you, Caleb.
Oh, I mean, the reason I didn't respond is because I would have been looking at Connor.
Oh, okay, sure.
Right.
Yeah.
Like,
so
it's up to you. Like, you're the one who's saying like we need to leave. So
I think Connor's like, that's very nice, but we really should be going. Everybody's healed up now, and I think some of the other kids are like, but no, Mary, you promised. And Mary kind of walks up to Connor and is like, I did kind of tell them that they'd be able to take you on their own little field trip. They wanted to thank you guys. And
she's talking to me?
Why? No, she's talking to Connor.
Okay.
Yeah. And I think Connor kind of looks at all of you guys.
Yeah, I'm really like staring at Connor, observing like how he's reacting to this situation. I'm very curious to see what he's feeling and thinking about it.
Roll empathy.
Yeah.
Empathy 3.
That's what I'm doing. All right. Oops. 3, you said?
Yeah.
Cool. 6.
Ow.
Tell me his most important aspects.
Well, that's, I mean, you know all of his aspects.
Yeah, I know. But which one's most important to him right now?
Well, I feel like that's a less effective way of just communicating to you how he feels right now.
Yeah, I know. That's just what my stunt does. So.
Okay. All right. Yeah. So he just says, or he doesn't say anything. Sorry. You look into his eyes and he just wants to curl up in a ball and like hide away from everybody.
Just moving so he doesn't have to worry about stopping.
Yeah.
Doesn't have time to think about it.
Yep. And now he had to stand in front of everybody, and that took so much guts for him to like stand up and talk to everybody. And now he doesn't just get to get on a bus and leave.
Yeah.
He has to like hang out more with other people. And so, but he knows that if he says something, that'll be revealed. And so that's why he's like looking at you guys like, what do you guys want to do? So that I'm not making a decision and exposing, like revealing my hand. Kind of.
Yeah. And so I already know this. And so I just went ahead and put my 2 free invokes on My Wife Was My World. I assume, right, Connor? I didn't hear you.
That's fine.
Oh, okay. So then based on my empathy roll, what do I think is the best option for Connor? Like, what can I say in this moment to be what's best for Connor, even if he doesn't think it's best for him? Like, I'm not asking what's going to make Connor more comfortable in this moment. I'm just asking, like, what can you tell me based on that role? Like, what's the best option for Connor right now?
The best option for Connor?
Yeah, like, there's several different ways to approach this. I could just be like, oh, Connor's not going to be involved, but we'll do something. Or I could say, yeah, Connor and I would love to, it just depends on how I think Connor's feeling about it and what would be good for him.
I think you believe it'll be best for him to stick around.
To like go on whatever this field trip is?
Yeah.
Okay, so I think I'll just say, all right, fine. I had to drag you along on a field trip, so I suppose it's just fair that you get to drag us on one too. And then I go ahead and like fall into attention and like do a little salute. And I'm just like, I will follow every order.
I looked at Caleb and I said, am I going to need the uniform again?
I already burned that. Sorry.
Oh, David doesn't know about that.
What sort of field trip did you guys do?
The one where Jared dressed as a camp counselor.
Nice.
So I think I think the kids say, "Oh, yes, yes," and like all of the kids kind of like start talking. They're like super happy about it, and they're like, "Not just you guys. Like, we want all of you to come with." And so they like look to all the NPCs, and like some of the little girls are like grabbing onto Lynn and Helen, and they're like, let's go, and like they all grab people, and they're and like some of the older boys like Ben and Zach and Earl, they like throw like the rest of the bags onto the vehicle, and they're like getting everything set, and they like drag everybody else out, and so the whole crew like goes on this little field trip.
Okay.
And I think with that, we get a kind of a shot of Connor coming up to you, Caleb, and being like, "You could tell that I didn't want to come, huh?"
And I smile at him and said, "Too bad for you."
And then I think he kind of like purposefully falls behind you.
Yeah.
And I think that's our transition, where he kind of falls behind, and then the environment changes to like you guys out in the woods, and then he like catches up to you, and you have your rifle strapped over your shoulder, and so does he.
Yeah.
As in you and Connor.
Yep. Sweet. Sounds good.
Do you have a deer in your sights?
I mean, is that what this sort of thing is? I was expecting.
Yeah, the flashback.
Say that again.
The flashback. We transitioned to the flashback.
Oh, okay. I had missed that. Okay. I was like, why are we hunting deer with them? They want us to get them food? Okay.
No, so Connor falls back in present time.
Got it.
And there's nobody else like in the camera shot because of that.
Yeah.
And then the environment just changes to the flashback of
Sure.
you guys in the forest. And then he catches up to you again.
Okay.
And you're both strapped with your rifles.
Right. Sounds good. Yes, I'll have a deer in my sights. And we just hear the soft, like slight, metallic sound of, kind of resting my hand on right next to the trigger and then kind of putting a finger on it. Just hear the really soft sound of my finger hitting the trigger, but not like actually pulling yet. And where is Connor next to me?
He was just coming up behind you, so he probably
Okay.
crouches down.
Yeah. So I kind of like glance at him, and I think I whisper, right, because I think like I'm about to like fire, and then he like the deer like goes behind a tree, and I'm like, I like pull it back, and then it kind of like disappears behind that tree, and I don't see it again, and I'm like, dang it. All right, well, that wasn't much of a shot anyway, so I guess we'll just wait. And I kind of like lean back. I look at Connor and I say, well, this brings you back, doesn't it? You used to do this with Dad all the time.
He doesn't say anything.
And this is probably how it's been the whole time, is I've like been talking and Connor hasn't said anything. Yeah, and I think I'm still like just leaning back against the whatever, long abandoned deer stand we found.
Yeah.
And I think I just say, do you remember when we watched the sunrise that one time? I think I was, 6? Maybe you don't even remember it. I mean, you were like 3, I guess. Saw a porcupine, just kind of waddling at the base of the hill that we were on the top of. First time I've seen a porcupine.
He doesn't say anything. And then he's just like fiddling with the rifle.
Yeah. Yeah, and I like look up, kind of like just up at the sky at something. It's kind of unclear. I don't think we're going to get a deer. So, well, I was trying to figure out how to show you this, tell you about it, if I should say anything at all. But I think you have to know.
Caleb, I'm going to compel you to not tell him yet.
Okay, yeah. With what aspect? Because I don't think I have an aspect that goes against this in this moment. Right? I changed my weight of the world on my shoulders to our shoulders.
Ooh.
I would almost think like the compel would be I do tell him and it goes badly. But I'm pretty sure in this moment, like Caleb would tell him no matter what. Like I think I've changed all my aspects to kind of relate to that right now.
I'm gonna, I guess, yeah, I'll compel you to relentless later. The relentless part of that you tell him. If you tell him, he is not gonna believe you.
Not gonna believe me?
Not gonna believe you.
Okay. Oof, that's gonna worry me even more. All right, yeah. So I'll tell him. So I say that, and then I probably say, "Gee, this is gonna suck at first, but I'm really sorry." And I just like reach into my like jacket and hand him a opened letter. And
He looks at it for a long time.
Yeah, and I just like
looks at you,
head back against the tree, kind of close my eyes almost, just like not even, just letting him have a moment.
And he grabs the letter and he reads it.
Yeah, so if he didn't grab it right away, I would have just literally just set it next to him and then just like leaned back and like closed my eyes.
So in that case, I think it's like an hour.
Yeah.
Before he picks up the letter.
That's fine.
And then he finally does. And like from the camera angle, we don't see what's written on the letter like that.
Sorry, David.
Looks over at you and looks back at the letter. And then he just like tosses it back to you and just is sitting there in silence.
Yeah. So like I grab it and like look down at it, look back up at him. Okay. So this is how it's going to be. All right. That's fine. I just tuck it back in my jacket and stand up. I don't think there's any use in staying out here now.
So I think he's just kind of sitting there. So you kind of like turn to like start walking down.
Yeah.
You're standing like climbing down. I think as you're doing that, he just says, "She couldn't have children. We tried."
I think Emily knows her stuff. She wouldn't make up a letter like that.
Yeah, well, Emily was wrong.
Okay. Connor, pregnancy tests are pretty simple.
How do I know you didn't write this letter?
All right. I'll talk to you later, Connor. And I just climb down the ladder.
How dramatic. Yeah, so I think I think as you're climbing down,
well, obviously I turn my flashlight off and then Connor like waves around. Hey, it's dark.
Yeah, so I think you climb down and then Connor starts climbing down, and the camera like leaves the deer stand after you both climb down to the sky, and then pans down, and we see everybody still walking into the forest. I love this transition. The cinematography budget was on point this season. So we see everybody kind of like gathering around, and the kids are so excited to show you guys what they have. And I think you guys get close, and no, I think So you guys come up to like a bunch of trees, a bunch of pine trees in this forest, and like there's like a pond behind the pine trees, and they all kind of point to you guys to the pine trees, and there's a bunch of little hand outlines on these pine trees, and I think Ben kind of stands in front of them, and kind of like some of the kids kind of usher Ben up to like speak, since he's the oldest, and Ben is like, we wanted you guys to all participate in our little family initiation, so to speak. We want you guys to all be considered as part of the family.
All right, so let's go back to the camp and eat together, and we'll call it good. But no, you're going to haze us. Okay, that's what this is going to be. Yep, all right.
You say that?
No, I don't think so. That's just probably my brain process.
So I think he like grabs out a writing utensil and is like, so we want you guys to all add your handprints to the trees with us.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Sure.
Or, no, it's not writing. It's paint, right?
It's paint, yeah.
Paint on it. Yeah.
You stick your hand in a bucket of paint. And,
Yep. Yeah, and there's a handprint for all the kids, and like they've carved like their names under which one it was, and there's one for Mary as well, and they all like, so all the kids are like grabbing your guys' hands and like dunking them in paint. So like Rick, the one that was like been hitting on Lynn this whole time, like grabs Lynn's hand and like dunks it in and like puts it onto the tree. Everybody is trying to get you guys to put your handprints and join them in their little pine tree, family tree.
Yeah, I do it gladly.
Jared, David?
Are there different colors of paint?
What's that?
Are there different colors of paint?
Yeah, I think they have like a white, an orange, maybe a blue.
Okay. Yeah, I use the white then. And yeah, I'll sure, I guess. go do the thing.
Jared?
Yeah, it's like blue paint, I guess, on the tree.
I obviously use red.
I didn't say red, but you can use orange if you'd like.
Unless
you want to use your blood.
If it had been red, I would have used it to be.
How dare you? I will do. What colors did you say there were?
White, orange, and blue. I mean, it really doesn't matter, you guys.
I'll do white. I'll do white. This is very important, Connor.
This is the most important decision we've made.
Yeah. So yeah, I think everybody puts their handprints on. And as you're looking around, though, Caleb, you notice that Connor didn't. His hands are dry, and you see a kid kind of like walk over and like try to say something to him, and like Connor just kind of turns away, and the kid just kind of like awkwardly walks away.
Yeah, I walk over to him basically immediately after that happens. Just walk right up to him and like do the thing where you stand facing away from someone and can like say something to them, kind of like turned away from everybody else. And I just like say into his ear, like, really? Are we in elementary school? Can I make a rapport roll to do the intimidate thing that I usually do. I basically just want him to like suck it up. Like,
okay, yeah, you can. Even if you succeed at this, I won't guarantee that his attitude towards you will.
I don't care
by that, but you can get him to do so.
Yeah, I just need him to do it. Yeah.
Yeah. Difficulty 4.
Okay. There you go. Boom! Right on the money.
Yeah. So a minor cost is then he is not. This does him no good. He doesn't see the point in this, but he'll do it.
That's fine. That's fine. It's not for him.
Yeah. Right. So he goes and sticks his hand in the nearest can of paint and puts it on there. And he glances at the kid who wanted him to do it, and he like smiles at him. And
yeah,
Connor doesn't smile at the kid, but the kid smiles at Connor.
That's what I figured. Yeah.
I helped Granola put a paw print on the tree.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Like the kids are trying to help you do it, and they think it's so fun.
That's funny.
And as you're doing it, some of the kids like back away because Granola growls, and then you have to warn them or tell them that like no, when he growls, he's happy.
Mm-hmm.
So Granola is very happy as he feels a part of the family too.
Oh.
At least that's your interpretation of why he's growling. And then I think Mary and some of the older kids, like probably Mary and Rosie and a couple other kids as well, like reveal that they have like picnic baskets, and they like pull out some blankets, and they have like a little picnic out by the pine bluffs.
How cute!
By the pine trees.
Cool.
So I think we get that scene. And everybody's just kind of hanging and chilling out, and then the screen kind of pans up to the sky, and then it's like kind of darker as we come back down. Like the sun isn't quite setting yet, but it's like probably like 5 or 6 o'clock. Oh, I established that it was like coming to winter, so there's definitely snow all over the ground. I completely forgot about that. Huh. Yeah. Okay. So there's snow on the ground.
Yeah, I forgot about that too.
That's fine. This is fine. Yeah, so we come back down, and you can kind of see that the moon is out, but the sun's still up. And in the camera shot, we see something. And then we come back down to you guys, and what are you guys doing?
Like what is this?
So you guys are having the picnic.
Oh, having the picnic still. Okay, I was confused as to.
So
got it.
What are you guys doing at the picnic?
Just talking with the kids.
Talking with the kids.
Mm-hmm.
David, Jared.
I am
hanging, eating some hot dogs. You know,
shooting at Liz with an airsoft gun.
Shooting what?
Shooting at Liz with an airsoft gun.
Oh, okay, yeah. So I want you guys to all make a notice roll. Difficulty 6.
Oof. Oh, this could be bad.
Should we be helping each other instead?
Can I just assist?
Yeah, can one person make the roll?
Because
yeah,
if you two assist me, I'll get a 6 since I rolled a 4.
Sure. Yep. There you go.
So you succeeded a minor cost. I'm going to spend a fate point on this.
Mm-hmm.
For some deserve a gentle passing. You're not paying attention. You're focusing in on Liz. So I can give you that fate point then, correct? Or
I feel like you stretch that aspect to its breaking point every time you use it, Connor.
I don't know. Do you give the point to me if you invoke my aspect? Is that how that works?
What is he doing?
Telling you. But if I'm invoking,
Well, I
And then-
assumed you were spending a fate
You
point
might
to
get
get
that.
this.
It's if you're compelling David to do something, he gets it.
Yeah.
I assumed that you were giving me it, or you were increasing the obstacle by 2,
Right,
spending
yeah.
a fate point on my aspect. But I
right?
don't know if I get the point then.
Oh,
That's what I
yeah.
thought.
He does.
I don't think in this case you do. No.
All right, so I'll just leave that.
Okay.
So you could also spend a fate point if you'd like, but
They said, no, maybe. Keep going, but I'm going to look that up.
okay, sure.
Yeah, that's only the thing we've done like once, and I wasn't.
But David,
I
do
didn't
you-
even think you were allowed to at first, but apparently
Yeah.
you are.
Okay, sure. David, do you want to contest the some deserve a general passing that doesn't make sense, or is that fine?
No, I think
Since Caleb complained about it, I just wanted to make sure.
I mean that's not quite how I meant it, but I think that is fine. Like
If someone pays a fate point to invoke an aspect attached to your character, you gain their fate point at the end of the scene.
Oh, weird.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's so you can't spend it immediately.
Yeah.
To undo.
But
it.
he will get one at the end of the scene for that invoke.
There's that. And pending. This is queued up.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know where that one came from. So yeah, so you guys are all hanging out and you're still doing your thing. And then I think we we cut over again and we see this same thing again. And then we cut back down. And what are you guys doing anything different? Or David, you're still shooting at Liz, and Liz is still dodging, and I think she gets hit by one of the bullets.
Yeah,
Or not,
I think
not
half
like-
the time that I'm shooting at her is when she's not looking.
Oh, okay, sure. Yeah. So you get her when she's not paying attention and she's like, ow. And then we cut over to you, Jared. What are you doing? You're rubbing Granola's belly?
Yeah, feeding him hot dogs.
Okay, sure. Caleb, what are you doing?
So I was talking with the kids. I'm probably like following up on those conversations, very, very kind of mildly, but following up on those conversations that we had with them on the field trip. Just kind of talking about like maybe like I'm probably giving some of the guys that we were on that trip a couple of pointers on.
After you shot that guy?
Say again.
You gonna talk to Earl after you shot that guy?
Oh yeah, I did want to talk to him about that. I probably not yet, but I'm probably talking to the general group there, just about like, one tips, related to the wilderness or whatever, those sorts of things. We're just having an actual conversation, and it's kind of going back and forth between, survival tips, general like masculine building up sort of thing, and other random conversation bits.
Okay, sure. Yeah, so and then we cut away from that, but make another notice check. This time it's going to be difficulty 5. Actually, no, difficulty 4 this time.
I'm still assisting whoever does it.
Yeah, we'll just want to do the same thing. Do you want to make it this time, Caleb? Since our notice is the same.
The notice, yeah, I can do that.
So you do it plus 2 instead.
Sure thing. What is this for? Is this a different thing?
Nope, same thing. You guys just didn't know first time.
Oh. Okay. All right. I have more fate points, so that's good at least. Got a 1.
You rolled a natural -2, I think. Yeah.
Yeah.
You should re-roll.
I can. Sure.
Tell you if there's an aspect that makes sense.
I'll spend it on Relentless Leader.
Sure, that makes sense. Yeah.
Oh, I also didn't add the bonus. That would have been a 3. I didn't add the bonus from you guys last time.
Oh, you didn't put in that +2.
I didn't. Yeah.
Yeah, just.
But I'll still reroll because I have a good chance of getting even higher than just a +2. So.
But you only need 5. It was only 4.
Yeah, but if he gets a 5, then it'll be at a minor cost.
No, it was.
If it's a 4, it's an I lowered it to 4.
Oh.
5 at first, but
Sorry, then I'll just spend it. Sorry, I'll just spend it to get a +2 then. Yep. It's a 5. So it is a 5 now, which means I just succeed.
Okay. So Caleb, you are saying something about guns safety or something like that. Trail off as you look up and you see smoke.
Back from where they were.
From so you look at the you're looking at the like finger paint like
trees
on the pines, and there's the pond behind it, and then behind that you see smoke coming up from the trees.
From the farm.
No, not from where you guys were.
Okay, just making sure. I just want to make sure that's
so the pine trees are in front of you guys. The farm is behind you guys.
Behind us. Okay, sounds good. Yeah. Okay. I mean, any other things I can? Is literally I just notice smoke, or do I hear anything?
A lot of smoke. It's a forest fire.
Okay. Okay. So maybe let's say for realism's sake, let's say that the wind was like going. We were upwind of it. And now the wind has changed, and so I actually like smell the smoke, and that's probably what tips me off first, and then I notice. So yeah, I mean, I don't like act panicked about it, but I definitely stand up and I say, guys, there's a fire, and I like just point at the smoke. We don't need to panic. There doesn't need to be a general, I'm trying to think of a better way to say that.
Well, the kids start panicking for sure. They start murmuring around among themselves, like, "Oh no! What do we do? What do we do?"
And I just hold up a hand. I do you guys haven't seen Community, but I do the Jeff Winger thing where I just go like, "Stop talking." Do they like listen to me?
No.
Can I make a roll?
Themselves, but yeah, you can make a roll.
Yeah, so at like they're starting to, whatever, and I'm like, guys, and then I just go, guys, and like zip it, sort of thing. And I'll roll rapport. To intimidate, what's the difficulty? Basically, my intent is just to like make sure they're following orders and they're gonna listen to me.
Yeah. 3.
Boom. 3.
Okay.
Yeah, so I said, guys, I'm like, listen, this is field trip number 2, right? That means you listen to what I say. We're going to go back to the farm, and you're going to immediately gather up everything you have there, and we're going to have to move you. This thing is moving too fast, and I do not want to risk trying to fight it. All right? There's a pond here, but... And I seem to like doubt myself, and I look back. I probably look at David, and I'm like, I don't know. What do you think?
I mean, does this look like a forest fire or like a campfire from a
forest fire
group? Or... Oh, okay. Yeah, I mean, I shrug and I'm like, I don't know anything about fighting forest fires. Probably just need to leave.
Yeah, I mean, can I make a lore roll to like know what the right thing is to do? Right, like wilderness stuff.
Yeah, absolutely.
Is the farm even like? Are there trees around the farm? Is the farm in any danger?
Yes. The fire is moving towards you guys, and so
they're probably outbuildings and things. Yeah.
The fire will spread towards the buildings.
Yeah. And with the wind carrying it, it could also just like burning pieces of whatever can like fall on the house too. So
there are trees around the houses. Yeah. Like it's not in the forest, but there are enough trees that it will set everything on fire, depending on how controlled the environment becomes.
Though this is okay. So I'm gonna make a lore roll, and then I'll ask you a couple questions, probably, Connor.
Okay. Yeah.
How many?
4.
Okay. Yeah, when we talk, when you're talking, it kind of cuts you out a little bit. So
okay, gotcha.
Sometimes I just don't hear you. All right. Okay, I got a 2. I have 1 fate point left, so I'll go ahead and spend that. Just on my survival equipment.
Okay. Yeah. So, what's your question then?
So basically, the question is, am I right in my assessment that we don't have enough resources to actually stop the fire? That's my first question. Like, is that a possibility?
You succeeded at minor cost. It is a possibility that you could fight this fire.
But if we fight it and we can't, then bad things are going to happen. Is there a way, like, could we do both? Could we have them get all their stuff, pack into the bus, and then have like half of us try to fight the fire? Or is that going to be spreading too thin?
There is not enough room on the bus to get everybody else out. You guys just packed everything onto the bus. All of your guys' stuff. There's just enough room for all of you guys. There's not enough room for 30 plus kids
on the roof.
I mean, there aren't that many kids, right? We can just have each of them on our laps.
Like
there are 30 kids.
30 kids? Yes. I must have missed that.
I mean,
I said that in both of your guys' mini sessions.
Sorry. I am apparently a bad player.
If it's between them all dying or like sitting on the roof of the bus, I feel like we can probably move them. It just won't be
like it's not impossible.
But
yeah, I know what you're saying. Okay, so my second question would be, my second question is like a weather related thing. So you said this is winter. Do I know? So this doesn't seem like the sort of thing that would just happen this time of year, right? It's not. We're probably very dry. So my professional guess would be someone caused this fire. Like this is a human made fire.
You could guess that, but you'd have to make a roll to determine that.
That's my roll. I'm making a roll to assess the wildfire. That was my roll.
I think you should make another roll for that. Just because this was what should we do?
Right. But what should we do? It's a very different answer if there are people out there who maybe started it maliciously, as opposed to this just starting on its own. This role was for what's the best course of action. So I'm asking you like clarifying questions to make sure I know the best course of action.
Okay. All right. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah. This definitely seems to you like it was caused, but you don't know for sure.
It's just not the time of year for it. Right.
Yeah.
Winter. There's snow on the ground. That doesn't make any sense. Okay. So I'm definitely gonna like take charge of the situation. Going back to my first question, or maybe my second. I don't know. I've asked several questions at this point. So if we were to have people like, whatever the bus situation is, if half of us were to get all their stuff out of the buildings and like, save whatever they can, put it in the bus. And maybe we were just going to walk along with the bus, right? Whatever that's going to look like. And then the other half of us were to try to like get sandbags or water or whatever else we can to try to make a barrier around the farm to make sure it's going to mitigate the wildfire, maybe even stop it from actually damaging the farm. Is that a possibility, or is it only a possibility if all of us work to stop the fire?
I think with your role, you think it's a possibility either way.
Either way. Okay. So I'll probably do that then. I just start barking orders. And I probably get like, it doesn't matter what of the NPCs do which one, but split the group half and half. A bunch of you get all their important stuff out, like leave anything that can be left behind, just like important stuff. And pack onto the bus, and then the other half of us, and probably including David and Jared, I'll have Josh probably working to jury rig maybe something really quick to like pull behind the bus, maybe to like throw all their stuff on it, maybe something like that. And then I'll have David and Jared and some others like Lynn probably and those people help just try to like set up something, figure out what resources we have to like actually try to stop it. In a barrier around the farm.
You basically send Josh to figure out the bus situation.
Yeah.
And
so basically I'm just like, Josh, like I need you to figure out how we can get everyone and all of our stuff on that bus at the same time, even if we have to pull the trailer or something. Because they probably have maybe like a trailer here that we could hitch onto whatever vehicle we're using here. As long as Josh has a little bit of time to jerry rig something. So
Okay.
Cool. Yeah. So I just start barking orders at you guys to like, do we have any sandbags? Like, and just like.
Yeah. So I think then we.
So maybe you do this as like a skill contest sort of a thing, where it's like a skill challenge or whatever, where it's like each of us roll something to help try to set this up.
Yeah, I think so. I think the fire is going to make attacks.
Oh, okay.
I think not. You guys will have to make physique rolls to withstand the smoke and possible fire damage.
Just heat.
But the forest is not going to make attacks against you, or not the forest. The fire is going to not make attacks against you. It's going to make attacks against the forest, right?
Yeah.
And so why don't we take a quick break? Because I'm gonna have to relocate.
Yep.
And we'll come back, and I should have
You're getting kicked out of the closet?
Yeah, I'm coming out of the closet, you guys.
Go.
All right. We'll be right back with more Orphans of the American Dream. And because the cinematography budget is like on point this season, we get this shot, Caleb, of you being dramatic and being like, all right, let's fight the fire. And we get like a Avatar The Last Airbender style, like dun, like dun, dun.
Dun, dun, as I'm like standing dramatically before the smoke and the fire. Yeah, of course. Yeah.
The camera shot goes like that and then up towards the smoke. And
yeah, we see the smoke and we see how widespread the fire is. Yeah. Yeah. Cool.
Yeah. We're
Good
back.
stuff.
Okay, welcome back to Orphans of the American Dream. We basically set up in that longer break kind of what the situation with the fire will be, and we'll kind of give you guys a little explanation of that, and then I think we're going to call it so that for the next session it can all be done together rather than us doing a little bit here and then calling it. And this basically is where I expected to call it, is when we took our break. I was like, ooh, there's a fire. But we had more time, but it makes more sense to end it there so that the whole situation can happen all together. So we'll get that awesome scene where you guys are looking from behind and looking out the fire. And then we'll cut there. But then for our audience, basically the fire will last until the characters can damage it enough to defeat it. So in this corner here, we got Fuego, Physique 5, so they'll be making attacks and creating advantages against that number. So the Fuego will roll, and it'll be balanced up against that. And then it'll act like a normal character. It'll have 1, 2, 3, 4 stress boxes, a mild consequence, a moderate consequence, and a severe consequence. And then the forest will last for 6 turns until it is fully destroyed. So if the fire lasts 6 turns, the forest will be completely destroyed, and then it'll start damaging the farm, unless they can fight it and finish it out before then.
I feel like we can do that.
And then you said the farm itself has 3 turns, right? And so if we let it burn for 3 turns after it's the farm is gone?
Yes.
Cool. Yeah, that seems fair.
Okay. And I think things will get a little bit more complicated next session. But actually, to close this out, we actually will get one more shot. Because I don't think it'll make sense to do it next time. To kind of close this out, David, you particularly noticed this, that as you guys are kind of getting ready to start fighting the fire, and it's getting darker and darker, you just barely can make out a helicopter that is flying away over the horizon. And as you look down your scope, you are able to make out that both you're able to make out Luke's masked face.
Oh boy. Okay. Nice.
As they're flying away.
Oh, they're flying away. Oh, okay. I thought they were coming to us. I see.
So we'll end with that. So you kind of look down your scope and you're like, there he is. So we kind of get a little bit of full circle from that dream too. Now your nightmares have become a reality in a very different sense.
Right. Yeah. Cool.
Okay. With that, we'll do a little after show, and we'll be back then next week, and we'll see what happens when our characters fight a forest fire.
Cool.